Hey, you looking to 10x to 100x your developer workflow? Well, you've come to the right place. My name's Sammy. Today, I'm going to show you how Codex, that just dropped from OpenAI, has honestly revolutionized my development workflow. So, today, so I've actually been using it for a while, and you can see here I have a lot of things that I've been doing. I basically increased coverage on my unit test mechanism to 80%, or like 70% ish, I'd say, on like some of the core pieces. I'm still not done. I have a few things to still review. So, like you see here, like there's open. So, I've been using this on my launchapp.dev template, which is a starter template, right? When you're trying to start a project that you want to launch a mobile app, website, etc., really quickly. So you can see I have 12 open pull requests at the moment that I still have to review, look at, and oh, would you look at that? We have a lot of them that are passed, so we can take a deeper dive at these. And these are right now just unit tests, because one thing that's important for my template is to have a lot of unit tests. And I also thought that unit tests was probably a safe way to test Codex, right? If it breaks a unit test, that's fine, as long as it doesn't mess with the file. So that's what a lot of these are, right? So you'll see here, like, boom, here's a new unit test that we've added for our schema utils. So we're testing the routes that actually exist in our API. We want to verify that things are working as expected. So this looks good to me. We can squash merge it. So yeah, so that's kind of how this workflow's been, right? Where we take a look at the unit tests, see what Codex has done, and then I also have CodeRabbit integrated. So CodeRabbit might leave some nitpick comments saying like, oh, you should do this after each one. This seems wrong, so, or maybe not, but it doesn't really matter. Like, it's just a unit test here. We could do that extra cleanup. But yeah, so look at the test. Looks pretty fine to me. It's just we're adding more coverage for one of our packages, which is the payment service, right? Which is like a glue between the Stripe, Polar, etc. That Launchapp uses. So now let's get to the exciting part. How do you actually 100x your developer workflow? So right now, in Launchapp, we have a packages directory, right? And inside there, I have a UI kit. So right now, we have a mobile app, web app. And this is really an interesting experiment for us, because this is not really going to break anything, but just more of an experiment, right? So we have this UI kit. The goal behind this UI kit is something that you can use on React Native for web. So you can use it on a web app, you can use it on a mobile app, and it's going to be based off similar to ShadCN. But the idea here is it's like anybody buying or getting this monorepo has access to a design system. But yeah, so let's start with this task. How do you 10x your developer workflow? So we'll go here and we'll say, I want to build out my UI kit in packages. Take a look at our web app and mobile app, and create a list of tasks for components we want to build, and then follow-up tasks to replace those components on the web and mobile. And then you have to be very clear here. You can't use code. So if you do this, it won't do what we need to do. We want to ask agent ask mode. But we don't want it to do any of this. What we want it to do is to come up with a plan. So that's the first step. And the really cool thing, right, is it has access to your GitHub. Right now I only have one repo in there, just to test it out. But yeah, and then you can see all the branches. You can ask against a specific branch, but these are kind of all the branches that it's been creating, right, and we've been using. But yeah, as you can see, I have a lot here to review, a lot of tasks, and it's kind of crazy, because this is, like, recently I was an engineering manager, and we had a lot of developers, close to 40 over the board. In one night, 2 nights, I was able to create the equivalent, at least, coverage that my teams would accomplish in a quarter. Right? Like if I asked my teams to create this much unit tests, it would take about a quarter to do all of them. That's how at least the velocity felt like, right? But yeah, so let's see here. We can see the task is working. It just runs Codex, which is kind of the same thing you can get from GitHub. But the cool thing here is it's linked to my Pro membership, which means I don't have to pay for like on-the-go usage. And I feel like I'm getting a really good deal, to be honest, because like when I used O3 on Cursor, I spent like $200 in 1 month really quickly. So yeah, here I'm able to use O3 more freely. Like I haven't seen any like usage limits, right? We could execute up to like 9-10 tasks in parallel. This is probably gonna be added soon, right? It seems insane to just let people to execute like 10-15 tasks, just like that. But yeah, I mean, this is probably the only reason I'm gonna start using ChatGPT. Like I don't really use chat that much in my life. Other than like coding, Cursor, this, that, but I don't really talk to ChatGPT like other than occasionally. So not worth the expense, but this makes it worth it. I'd gladly pay that $200 now. But yeah, so this part of the video will probably be sped up because yeah, there's not really much to see or okay. All right, so as you can see here, we got our tasks after, I would say, good like 3 minutes, 2 minutes. But yeah, so already contains a placeholder, blah, blah, blah. Both applications implement their own UI components. The native app defines similar button using React Native primitives. Style guide and recommending consistent shared components, blah, blah, blah. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to do the button, right? And then there's the core form controls and package UI kit. That seems fair to me. And then so it scaled the task down here, right? It seems a little bit too much to just go ahead and replace every piece of the UI. So it's gonna do these 3 tasks, and as you can see, it gives each one of these actual like instructions. In this app, do this. In this app, do this. So yeah, we're gonna wait for this component to finish like these tasks first to finish before we even consider running these tasks. But yeah, so now you can see we have 3 tasks running in parallel, and we can take a look at them. And there you go. So you can see it's starting up. It's installing my npm dependencies, the repo. And then it's doing like, okay, add this implementation in here for the components, mirror styles and behaviors, export these components via this, and yeah, it will go ahead. And the goal here, right, is not to create a single design system that'll replace everything, but like, you know, this is a start of a migration, to be honest, because when I was doing this, React Native Web, React 19, all got released at the same time. So, you know, ideally I would like a single platform for all the components. I was debating on doing that, but now when I think about it, I think that's the best thing to do, is to have a unified design system. All right, but yeah, so we can see the other tasks are also all running in parallel, and that's kind of the beauty of it, right? Is these guys all run independently. They're doing their own thing. And they're creating the tests that you need for each component. That's kind of the beauty of it. And like, yeah, just because of some documentation, like Cursor is great for the follow-up, like fixing stuff after this phase. So like when I'm reviewing these pull requests, right? If I see any issues, like this one has something breaking in it, so I'll go in here. We'll see the versal deploy failed. CodeRabbit has some feedback here. Yeah, so really that's kind of like how I've just been 10xing. Like in the last 2 days alone, I really just accomplished so much in terms of test coverage, which is important for this project because it's something that I'm planning to reuse many times, and I'm planning to support for long term. Right, once I'm building it, the plans to support it indefinitely, and I can't do that if there's a lot of debt, etc. And AI has made it so that I have no excuse at this point. So yeah, might as well do the 80% test coverage, 90% test coverage that's needed to ensure this template's in a good situation. And like as you can see, it's pretty well integrated with like CodeQL, code scanning, CI build, Versal. So everything's being tested before I even merge, because when you're vibe coding, you can easily break things. So like this workflow is really making me move a lot faster. Enough to make this video instead of having to worry about building code all day. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something here. I know this Codex $200 a month is expensive. I would wait and see if OpenAI will make that more available, but maybe on a lower tier. But yeah, if you have the $200 to spare, you're a developer or you're paying for a developer, not that bad. But also, if you want a good starter point, join my waitlist on launchapp.dev. And yeah, thanks all. I hope you enjoyed this video.